Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Carmine from New York City, coming to you live from the Big Apple. This is photo class number 64. How are you? We're in New York. It's a beautiful day. It's raining, and it's 50 degrees here in March. Today is March 6th, 2022. I hope everybody's doing well. Our thoughts go out to everything that's happening in Europe. Enough said, because this is not a political channel. All right, we're going to continue our discussion on how come external handheld light meters are so important. Now, you know I am an advocate of not using the Sunny 16 rule because it doesn't work. You will get the wrong exposure most of the time if you use the Sunny 16 rule. And with film prices going through the roof, there's no reason at all not to get yourself a light meter. Okay, there's a whole video on that. I ruffled a few feathers, but I stick to what I say. Film's too expensive to guess what your light exposure, your film exposure should be. Okay, today we are going to discuss the Voigtlander VC Speedmeter 2 from Japan. This light meter is something that I first saw on Martin Henson's YouTube channel. I was amazed at the portability of it when you want to travel light and just have your camera and not have your big Sekonic handheld spot meter, which is the size of your hand, having to put that in a pocket or carry a camera bag when you just want to travel light. This little, does it fit in your pocket? Here we go, folks. This little 1.5 ounce, inch and a half Voigtlander light meter is just an incredible little gem. I picked this up a while ago and I says, you know what? It's time to do a review on it. These are made in Japan, the Voigtlander VC Model 2. They're made in Japan. They are little gems. Okay? It has a, let me get this right, it has a silicon photodiode receptor right in here. Okay? It has the angle of view roughly of a 70 millimeter lens on a 35 millimeter camera, right? So you can imagine that what that angle looks like. Okay? So now, as you know, I'm an advocate for the Sekonic spot meter to get, you take 3 readings, right? The brightest, the darkest, and medium gray tone. And you press one button and it gives you an average. And you always will get a great exposure, right? But like I said, as far as portability, look at this thing. Look at this tiny, tiny size of it. Let's compare it to a 35 millimeter film canister. Okay, there you go. This is it next to a 35 millimeter film canister. It's actually a little shorter. Okay, it's very light, and like I said, it fits right into your pocket. Now, this little guy, okay, goes on the shoe, hot or cold, on your camera, okay? But you have to remember a few things. Not all hot shoe, cold shoes are created equal. They're roughly the same size on every camera, going back to the original Leicas. So what do you have to do? You have to be very careful. And you want to take real good caution when you're using this so it doesn't fall off your camera, because these new, sold today, I just checked, March 6th, 2022 on bndhphoto.com. These sell new today for $225 plus tax. Okay? Did I pay that? Come on. You know I didn't pay that. I got mine secondhand, used, in the box, on eBay from a seller who had 100% positive feedback, but because he was the only one selling one in the box in like new condition, he only had 44 feedbacks. Now, you know, I usually only go with eBay sellers that have hundreds of feedbacks. All right, but I took a chance. All of his feedbacks, I read them, looked pretty good, right? So anyway, I bought this one for $160. Okay, saving like 65 bucks. Okay, took a chance, right? If it didn't work, if it wasn't accurate, I could always send it back. So I've had this, I've used this, and this is a wonderful little light meter. Now, it uses, right here, you just slide this off. It uses two of those little flat button batteries, the LR44s. It uses two of those, right? Those are pretty inexpensive. All right. Let's see. So it slips into your camera's shoe, right, with this metal piece right here. And it is adjustable, that you can take the screws out and you can slide it over. See, it has the holes here. You can slide it over, so depending on where you want it on the top of your camera, you can adjust it. Okay. Let me just show you, okay, what it would look like on the Zorky 4. Okay, it slips in to the hot shoe, right? Here's the, well, this is a cold shoe, right? There are no contacts on the light meter, okay, and it just slips right in, okay? And this is what the Voigtlander light meter looks like on top of the Zorky. Okay, so if you have a Leica or any other kind of rangefinder, this is what it would look like. But looks aren't that important. Okay, we are photographers, we're artists, and we want to know about accuracy. So the first thing you have to do when you mount this on any camera, whether it goes in semi with enough friction to hold it, right? Now this is not falling out, okay? But easily, if I was walking with this, it could come out, okay? That is one of the drawbacks of using a shoe-mounted light meter. There are many. Sekonic even makes one, but it's about 3 times the size. So what do? We go with our old friend, gaffer's tape. You take a small stamp-sized piece of gaffer's tape, and on the back, okay, right where it mounts to the camera, right, you take a piece of gaffer's tape and you secure it to the back of the camera, okay? You secure it without covering the light meter button, okay? You secure it so it doesn't slip off and you're out a couple of $100, okay? So how is this for accuracy? Well, in a little while I will show you some examples, some of my photographs that I use this on. On the top you will see, it looks like 2 wheels, but there's 3. The third wheel is hidden underneath here. It's the ISO dial. So the first thing you do is you set your film speed. In this case, I have it set on ISO or ASA if you have gray hair. ASA 400. Okay, then the next thing you do when you're ready to take your photograph, okay, is you press just once, you point it exactly at the, once you have your photograph framed and you're all set, you're ready to go, you just press the button in, the orange button, press it in once, okay, and you'll see on the top lights. Now you have 10 seconds to turn the wheels, okay? Let's do it again, okay? Here, the red light is pointing, and you see now I have a green and a red, and now I have just the green, which means perfect exposure. And then you look at your two dials, okay? And it gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It gives you 5 choices of any way you want to set your camera, okay? In this case, what most people do is they use the reading that's on the middle line, right? In this case, it's just pointed it at my monitor, would be f4 at 1/25th of a second. But you can go up, right, up this little ladder of little white lines, and you just use the corresponding numbers. For example, you can use f8 at 1/30th of a second, or all the way in the bottom, you can use 1/500th of a second at f2, between 2 and 2.8. Okay, so this is perfect for you guys that shoot aperture priority when you're hunting for that blurred background, or shutter priority when you're looking for blur or you're looking to stop action. Okay, very simple. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. You press the button once. You look at the dial. The lights now even have arrows to tell you which way to turn either dial, to turn your shutter speed dial or to turn your aperture dial. It shows you which way to turn it to get just the green light. Wonderful design, absolutely beautiful. Like I pointed out, it goes right into your pocket. So on this one, this is just an example of the Zorky 4, how it fits in there semi-snugly, right? Semi-snugly. Okay, we'll go to the next camera. In this case, it's the Fujica. You guys know I love this camera. This is the G690, right? Now watch this, how you really have to be careful with your equipment, okay? You take the Voigtlander, you slip it in, okay? Now there it is. That's what it looks like on top of the Fujica G690, but comes right off. If I didn't know that it came right off, it'd be bouncing on the floor, okay? You have to be careful. So what do you do in this case? Again, you would take your gaffer's tape, right? You take your gaffer's tape, you put it on the back where the light meter meets the back of the hot shoe, cold shoe, whatever, okay? You put a piece in. Now, if I was going out in the field, I would put more. I would put some on the side, right? But at least now, it won't fall off, okay? But you have to be aware as you're walking and you're bumping into it, right? Or your friend bumps into it or whatever, right? You have to be aware that it could slide off, okay? Now, what about if you're going out and you have a camera, doesn't have a cold shoe or a hot shoe? And in this case, for example, as you guys know, the Rolleiflex, right, doesn't have a hot shoe or a cold shoe. It's shoeless. So what you do in this case, after you've framed your picture, right, you take your light meter and you can go, what I do is I put it right on the side of the camera, right on the side of the camera, making sure that it's not off, but pointing it in the same direction as my subject, press and let go, and now you'll see it'll hold it for 10 seconds so you can turn your dials and get the right meter reading. You look at it, you transfer that information to your Rolleiflex or any other camera that doesn't have a shoe. Okay? So, even if your camera has a shoe, my friends that have these, they never mount it. They just keep it loose, right? They hold it up without blocking the diode, right? They just hold it up, right? hold it up to their eye, look at the subject, press it in, look at the meter, right? Turn it in the direction of the arrow, boom, perfect meter. You transfer this information to your camera, done. You don't turn it off, it goes off automatically. You open your pocket and you put it right in. The ISO range on the light meter is from 25 ISO to 3,200. Okay, let's see, let's keep going. Okay, now, this is very important. This is the Aperture Ring side, right? It goes from f1.4 to f22. That will cover 99% of the lenses you have, all right? If you have a lens that goes to f0.9, if you're lucky enough to have that lens, or an f1.0, then you have to do some adjustments and either not use f1.0, go to 1.4, or use some other kind of method for your light meter reading. Okay, it weighs only 42 grams, which is 1.5 ounces. And let's get to the real meat of this channel YouTube video today, number 64. When I went out shooting yesterday, it was either yesterday or the day before, when I went out shooting with this, right, I mounted it on my Asai Pentax Spotmatic SP, and I had it mounted right on the top. Oh, this is another interesting thing. This shoe, this cold shoe, as you can see, was an accessory back when this was made. You had to buy this separately. You squeeze in the two buttons on the side, right, and see, it comes with no shoe. You had to buy the cold shoe adapter, okay, and let's see if I can mount this on with one hand. Okay, all right, we're getting there. Okay, so now the camera has a cold shoe. So I mounted it on yesterday, or the day before, I forget. Okay, so I had it mounted on here. This is what it looks like on a Pentax Spotmatic, right? Looks pretty cool, right? And don't forget, like I said, it has the screws on the bottom. You can, if you only had one camera, let's say, and you wanted to have this more aesthetically centered, you could take it off and move the shoe mount, and you can have this actually centered more, but why bother? Okay, so I had the 200 millimeter Takumar, right? And I go out shooting. Now let's get back to Sunny 16 and why it sucks. It was a sunny day, and I had 400 speed film. So if you didn't have a light meter, you would shoot it at, right, sunny, right, f16, right, so you would put it on f16, and you would match the shutter speed to your ISO, right, 400 speed film. The closest you can get is shutter speed 500. Well, guess what? When I was shooting this photograph, okay, guess what the light meter said? To get this accurate, very well exposed negative, right? To get this print, guess what? This was shot at f1000, sorry, shutter speed 1/1000th of a second at f22. Okay, so Sunny 16 shooters, go get a light meter. This had to be photographed with 400 speed film at 1/1000th of a second, not 500th of a second, like Sunny 16 tells you. Had to be shot at f22, not f16, like Sunny 16 told you to do. Okay, so this is just another example of why you need not necessarily a $160, or if you buy a new $225 Voigtlander light meter. Okay, I told you in a separate video, You can go back and look at it. You can get them for like $40. Secondhand, Sekonic, on eBay. Okay? Come on, guys. Next one. Shot the same day. Okay? Whoop. Okay? This one. Okay? Sunny, same day. Was across the street from that first picture. Okay? Also had to be shot at 1/1000th of a second at f/22. Okay? And look, you still have detail in the shadows. Right? The sun was coming from this side of the horse. Still have details on the shadow side. Okay? No blown out highlights. Okay? So what does this tell you guys? Proving again, Sunny 16 rule sucks. Get a light meter or you'll be wasting film, and worse than wasting film, it'll take the enjoyment right out of photography if you don't get proper exposures. It's a matter of pressing a button, matching up a needle or matching up lights, transfer that information to your camera, to your lens, boom, perfect exposure. All right, guys, so how do we sum up today? We went 21 minutes. Would I recommend it? The answer is yes, I would recommend it. It's so blown out. Would I recommend it? Yes. All right, guys, we had a very good day today. All right, I showed you the Voigtlander VC Speedmeter 2 in black. Oh, it also comes in chrome, by the way. Okay, so this little guy, this little light meter, right, this 1.5 ounce beauty from Japan is well worth it. Okay, it's well worth it when you want to travel light, right? Just put it in your pocket and you know you have excellent exposed photographs on the horizon. All right, guys, this has been episode 64. Carmine coming to you live from New York City. Please subscribe. Hit the button. Come on. The button's right over here. Comment below. Send me an email, blackandwhitephoto@aol.com. Go to my online gallery. In fact, I just researched. I have over 2,400 photographs that I've taken on my website, and that's only for the last couple of years. It'll tell you most of the time what equipment I use, what film, what camera, what lens, the date, the time, whatever. This way it gives you more information about this art that we've all chosen, photography. All right, guys, have a great day. I hope it stops raining soon. Take it easy, guys.